white landowners in South Africa were being treated.
Welcome to another episode of the Neoliberal Round Podcast. I'm Renaldo McKenzie. I'm here talking with Ricardo. This is The Pulse. We actually have a short version of it that we're going to publish later on. And then but Ricardo is here talking with me. He feels very passionate about about a lot. Ricardo, how are you? Welcome to the show.
I'm good to be here. Thanks for having me on a Saturday. Usually I like to be attired more appropriately, but I think since that we're having a casual conversation, who cares about what we're wearing and what's in light of what's going on in our world today, right?
Yes, that is true. And but Ricardo, you talked about JD. First, there's so much to talk about. You said you disagree with the article with a recent analysis that I did on a recent White House briefing featuring Elon Musk and President Donald Trump talking about Dodge. You said you didn't agree with it, and then you talked about JD Vance. But let's talk about what didn't you not agree with on my presentation. I don't know if you had a chance to watch
you're
it.
saying that sometimes it's you after you played the video, you alluded to the fact that changes are needed to be and are necessary. And nobody disagreed that change in our society, the world that we're living in, this changing world. However, changes require. This is a huge country, it's one of the largest society economy in the world. So you can't just blow it up and change it like that. It has to be strategic, methodical, and you have to get people working together for changes to happen. You can't just come in and start blowing stuff up like that and then say we're in the name of changes. Just to do it like that. No, it has to be that methodical. All right? He has the mandate of the Congress, the judicial system. He has the mandate of the people. But yes, what he's using this mandate to do, he's God, and he's just going to change stuff. People are losing their job, affect people's lives, making decisions that really don't support or benefit, that are not strategic or structured. And I don't understand. First of all, let's talk about Elon Musk, who wasn't even approved by the Congress, who's a billionaire, who is getting benefits, who's profiting from the government, since we've been profiting from the government. How are you going to have this man working for the American people, and then you're giving him unfavorable treatment? What he's gotten richer since he's been working.
But first of all, okay, fine. They are getting rid of the personnel department anyway, so no one will be able to. They're getting rid of personnel. Personnel was supposed to have oversight over personal matters to ensure that the White House and the executive and the government is abiding by personal laws. That's through the door. First of all, I didn't know that you can head a department of government and still keep a private office. And then they were saying, wait, let me finish it. And then the Department of Government Efficiency was accusing some of these technocrats or bureaucrats who had some of these government organizations, saying that they're getting two checks. They're being paid by the government. They're not going to the office. They're not being paid by the government. They're working remote, and at the same time they have another job. But Elon Musk, I'm quite sure he has more than one job. He now works for He now works for the government, and he also works for X and so on. So I'm not sure. It's very pharisaical and duplicitous.
Ronaldo, I remember Enron fell in this country many years ago.
Yes.
Because that's what came up with corporate social responsibility, because they were doctoring the book and lied about their profitability. And many people lost millions of dollars. Even middle class people lost their retirement money because they lied. So we had to come up with corporate social responsibility and ethics. And that's something that they teach in college. And there's something about our government, they don't care about ethics anymore, or corporate social responsibility. Okay?
Yes,
that doesn't exist in our government anymore. But let's really talk about it. Ronaldo, I believe that all of this that he's doing is the noise that he's making and the attack is for one reason.
But I have said that what he's doing is good for America, because America was in decline and America is competitive, and so that it takes
what he's doing is for white people.
Okay, fine, go ahead.
He's only doing this for white people. Donald Trump believes in white nationalism in this country. And then he's spreading it like a cancer. It's a cancer right now. He wants to, it's like Black Wall Street all over again. Black Wall Street, black people were succeeding in this country back in what? It was the 1890s, right? When I forgot you call that age.
Black Wall Street was, I
Industrialization.
think, it's the 1980s. 1980s, Black Wall Street.
No, 1890s, not 1980s.
No.
18.
There was
You
another
can't say
one.
1980.
Or
1980. We're
1960s.
born in 1979.
No. Black Wall Street was recent. It was
No,
recent.
Ronaldo.
I'll
Black
check.
Wall
Okay,
Street
fine.
is
Can you
not.
check? Fine. Can you check that down? While we are doing that, can you check
It's the Ronaldo.
yeah.
Black Wall Street, I think, was happening right before or after the Gilded Age. The Gilded Age was 1890, right during the Industrialized Revolution when they start building factories and stuff, to 1900 to the 19.
But what's the point? Because but the
Right
idea.
before World
Hold on,
War
no. But the
One.
idea of the Black Wall Street is given because there are several instances throughout America's history where black people were doing well, and they would derail those efforts. I know the point you're making. So Black Wall Street
Well,
was several
yes.
times, but it has happened several times. But
Yeah, but that
yes,
one time they
okay.
burnt down, the Ku Klux Klan went in and burned down an entire community because they were shutting us out and we couldn't get anything. So what they did, they created their own and they were growing and growing and growing and they just burned it down. Look at what's happening, Ronaldo.
There it is.
Right now,
Yeah, go
South
ahead.
Africa, JD Vance went, where did JD Vance went to? Europe. And what did he do? He started talking to European government about what? About immigration and how they are perpetuating immigration and they do a good job. Okay? Then Donald Trump said that he's going to stop aid to South Africa because why? Because he's stopping aid to South Africa because white landowners were not being treated fairly.
Yes.
White landowners going to be treated fairly. Also, even though they had apartheid and took away all these black people land and stuff for many years in apartheid and killed them, they're saying that it's not, and they haven't gotten any reparation. Anyways, then he talks about DEI. Then he talks about the USAID. USAID, Ronaldo, is an international organization that really helps people who are in need. And most of these people who are in need are what? They're colored or black people all over the world. If you notice, all of Donald Trump's policy, dismantling the USAID, DEI programs, dismantling a lot of the federal government, which hire a lot of people of color. What he's doing, he's doing his job. His main mandate was to keep the white race pure and to destruction of black people and people of color in the country and in the world. That's why he's doing what he's doing. And I don't know if people are not seeing this, but the reason why we're making noise about USAID is a huge organization that gets money from the government and further the US influence around the world. But not just that, they give back HIV treatment, HIV development in other countries, healthcare, clinics, all over these black and brown communities all over the world. Then everything and then guess what they're doing? Look at workers.
Well, you have made so much point. I have completely forgotten the point. Oh, by the way, Black Wall Street happened in 1921. Okay, so it was in 1921 that Black Wall Street.
Yes, I knew it was a long time ago.
Yes.
But Ronaldo, Roe versus Wade, people are going to say, no, that's not true because if you get rid of immigrants and stuff, well, white people are not having kids. Guess what? Why didn't they got rid of Roe versus Wade? They got rid of the Roe versus Wade because they want white people to start making kids, because they want to, Ronaldo, they're trying to grow the white race and make the white race dominant again. Why do you think they had the meeting at Madison Square Garden? And people, we need to wake up. We need to wake up and open up our eyes. There's something sinister going on, the underbelly of what's happening in our society right
Well,
now.
what I have said, I wrote an article before Donald Trump became president about Project 2025, the meaning, what it means, MAGA. And I said America was losing its soul. America was losing its whiteness. And so,
Yes.
and I said to people, that is why they had the abortion. And I said I was part of a study since 2009 that that involved asking various Americans their feelings towards America, the majority becoming part of the minority and the minority becoming part of the majority by 2020 or 2025. Okay, and here we go. We talk about Project 2025. This was in 2009. I did this study that talked about 2025, and in 2025 we hear about Project 2025. The Project 2025 had something that had started since the 2000s. Okay, and I'm saying to people, and then I said, when you look at the result of the election, over 75% of white people overwhelmingly voted for Donald Trump. Okay, the abortion policy was, yes, to help preserve the white, and not just the white race is in decline, not just only in America, in Finland, in many of the post-industrial countries.
Yes.
So yes, in Europe, the white race is in decline. So it's not in America's interest for them to have a policy against abortion, because who is doing the aborting? Mainly white people are aborting babies. Okay, and that affects the majority. It affects the racial majority of this. That's a problem. Okay, and not only that, this thing with Spanish, and a lot of Hispanics are coming here now. When you look at the community, it's like everything is dominated, and then the DE, and then look what's going on. When you call places, or if you speak English, press 1. First of all, this is an English speaking country. Why am I pressing 1? If you speak Spanish, you should press something. Okay, I'm sorry. So Ricardo, so yes, he is. I'm sorry, Ricardo. Yes, he's doing what he's doing because he's doing it with to serve the interest of the populace, because he is this is a government of populism. He's a populist president. And the world is going, we're living it's a lot of populist policies. Look what happened in UK when that prime minister was, in France.
Hold on.
Populism
Renaldo
is on the rise from 2016.
Yeah, but hold on. You can't lose hope. When you talk about stuff like English and stuff like that, the problem is that you're feeding into Donald Trump's argument to scare people. You have to stick to the bigger picture here. Is because when you talk about that, Black people and Spanish people and colored people, we all have to band together because they don't care.
But Ricardo, this is a cult. I talk about America. Many people are afraid that America is losing its soul to the point that they will throw billions of dollars behind studies from 2009. Okay, that exploits it. They've been working throughout. Ricardo, I am saying to you, culture. Donald Trump is there as a rabbi to help preserve the white American culture in this country. It's not a black country. It is not a Hispanic country. And there are real fears of that. And not only that, America is in decline in the world because China is on the rise. Okay? And the BRIC countries. And yes, and that is Ricardo. So yes, the decisions that he is making is to reposition America and also claim the cultural identity and majority of this country. Now,
China is helping, but guess what? That's why they're going to lose. China's already a great nation. China is helping people of color. They're helping the Caribbean islands. They're helping South America. They're helping. Why do you think they're trying to get the Panama Canal again? You know why? China is so invested in Panama right now with so many goods and services. Even in Mexico, they have industrial factories and stuff in Mexico. Mexico is like, okay, fine, you want to do that. We don't care.
But Ricardo, there's a problem with China investing in Mexico. Because Mexico is part of the North America Free Trade Agreement. And let me finish. No, but Mexico benefits from, from lots of waivers. They don't pay the tariffs that other countries are paying. And a lot of their goods flood the American market. So now China is doing business with Mexico and benefiting from those same protections that Mexico get as part of NAFTA. I have a problem with that. So yes, slap Mexico with tariffs, Ricardo.
Renaldo, okay. I am not. The only reason I want to have a conversation with you and this conversation is I couldn't care less about Mexico and the economy. It has nothing to do with economy.
Yeah.
It has everything to do with white and black people and people of color. That's what it has to do with for me. For me, they don't care. What he doesn't care, what he cares about is that people like me and look like you and Dante, we're last and we know our place. We're going to work in Burger King and McDonald's and we're not supposed to have any money, all right? And we're supposed to be, and if we have to be killed in the process of making America great again, that's what it's about.
Ricardo, this is good.
Everything that he's doing.
No, but Ricardo,
everything that he's doing It's so that it's like another. If we're gonna be thrown in a concentration camp because there are too many of us, that's what's going to happen because they don't want black people and people of color in the world to survive. That is it. That's why they're giving a view that. Listen, if Africa was the people of, if these people they were helping.
Ricardo, no. I disagree with your argument because no, I have a problem with that. Why is it that many countries in the world today, like Finland and some of the Scandinavian countries, and even in China, they are inviting black people to come to their countries because they're realizing when you have a diverse country then with black people there, it does something for the country. Look at America; we're competitive because of the African race. Okay.
Renaldo, I don't want that. Why did J.D. Vance go to Europe and spoke on the council yesterday and told Europeans that they are perpetuating immigration? So the thing that Finland is doing, they don't want them to do it anymore. He's telling them to stop it.
Ricardo, Ricardo, you remember Marcus Garvey? Remember Marcus Garvey? Remember Pan-Africanism? Remember Pan-Africanism? And I said to people, segregation was good. And they realized segregation was good and they got rid of it. And people are saying, yes, great, get rid of segregation. No, that's a champion of black, excuse me. They realized that segregation, when the black people segregate and band together and start to work, guess what? All of a sudden, they start to rival the white people's wealth and businesses. That's why they burned down Black Wall Street. Okay, you know what I'm trying to tell you?
Yes.
So maybe
because we were growing.
So that's probably fine. That's what I'm saying. I have a problem with it. Yes, go and create and protect so that black people can now band together and start growing and going. Probably maybe they should go. You know what's going on to Ghana now? Many black people are going back to Ghana and creating businesses in Ghana, and Ghana is doing well. Okay, the Jamaican Prime Minister saying, "Come back to Jamaica. Jamaica is doing well. We'll welcome you because with all your skills and the talents and what you have learned." And of course, they don't want that. Okay,
Renaldo, but guess what?
They're gonna send them to Cuba. They're not going to send the people that they to Cuba.
Renaldo, what they're gonna do? They're gonna burn us down. They're gonna steal us. They don't want us to succeed either. When they see us start banding together and growing, they're gonna do everything, and their job is to keep us down. So don't fool yourself thinking that they're gonna. Every time we come together to start growing, they do everything in their power to destroy our success. You think a lot of black people know that the light bulb, Thomas Edison, what's his name? Thomas Edison, who discovered the lights and stuff, the filament in the bulb. Do you know, you think it was him who discovered that? He was working and couldn't figure it out. It was his assistant, a black slave, who actually showed him how to do the filament in the bulb, but nobody knew.
Yeah, Ricardo, you know, we and of course, yes, we understand that.
When the surgery, do you know how the surgery, the thing that we use to keep it clean and stuff, when the brain surgery and stuff, they just show about that guy. It was a black guy, they call him Dr. So-and-so, to improve surgery in the world today. His assistant who never went to college, who would
Ricardo, that is why I teach the Afrocentric paradigm. Because you know what? Wait, let me tell you why. Let me tell you why I teach that. Because Afrocentric paradigm is about centering African people. Centering people back to, okay? Because so that people can stop looking to the American dream. Okay? Stop looking to the American dream, because the American dream was never meant for black and brown people. Okay? This was not black and brown people. Well, fine. It's a country that was stolen. Okay, it was a country that was stolen, and as a result of that, it became, and then it had. But I'm telling you, Ricardo, we predicted it in the Neoliberal. We talked about it in Project 2025. They're preserving the white, and they are within their right to do so. Yes, they are within their right to preserve culture.
No, they are not.
They are within the right to preserve the culture. Yes, to preserve the culture that they have created.
During World War II. They were killing and destroying people in order for that to happen, okay? And people are good. We are collateral damage. Like, look at Adams in New York. You think that he cares about Adams? Mayor Adams dropped the case. They dismissed the case, but the case is not gone. They just dismiss it, which means that, but it's a quid-pro-quo, which means that he's supposed to drop the case so that he could further his immigration and ICE policies, which are illegal anyway, in New York. And guess what? He could do that, and then guess what? If the case come back again, you think he's gonna pardon Mayor Adams? You think he's gonna pardon him in the future when he has to go to court because they want to they want to dismiss the case? But guess what? The case can be brought up again a year from now, and
Well, I mean, the
why?
case. Well, I mean, it could be that dangling in front of him if because he could change his mind. He could say, you know what, ICE agents and all y'all get out of here. He could say that. So maybe it's rather if he dismisses the case than probably let it go to trial and pardon him, right? But whatever the case is, it was the mayor who reached out to Donald Trump, not Donald Trump who reached out to the mayor. Okay, just so you know.
Because why?
Okay.
Because he knew he did something wrong.
All right, and
the only way
what's going on? The New York. What is going? I heard that New Yorkers are forcing him to step down.
He's not going to step down. He's going to run again, and he's going to lose.
When is the election?
I don't know, but I
heard that New York. You're in New York right now. No, you're not in New York right now.
I'm in New Jersey, which is right across the river. But you're going to lose. If he's going to fool himself, if he's going to run as a Democrat. Democrats are smart. They're intelligent. One thing about Democrats is they are objective. They have a heart, and they like to do things the right way, which is why they said we'll finish last because of that. However, they are not going to vote for him because of this. All right? He's going to lose. I'm telling you, he's not going to win when he runs again. All right? And if you run as a Republican, he's not going to get enough Democrats. And I know Donald Trump is trying to turn New York into a Democratic, but the city of New York is not. The city itself. New York might be like the outer boroughs might be Republican, but the city itself is made up of so many people and a lot of people from all different walks of life. They're not going to vote for him again because of this. Okay? Especially since they want to further the ICE coming in and just locking up people when New York depends on immigrants. Okay? They depend for the money and all the money they make. They get a lot of money from immigrants. I'm sorry. They do. So he could go ahead and do what he wants to do, but guess what? He is going to be a pawn. If you look at Donald Trump's cabinet, there's no black person in his cabinet. Not one.
Well, they don't have DEI now, so he is not under any obligation to keep people. And by the way, he's going after federal agencies, even private ones. If you have DEI policies, they're even going after you too. And how they go after you is
the federal government are the biggest hiring of people of DEI. That's what I was trying to tell you, that this doesn't anything to do with supporting the white race. Is this policy. Every decision that Donald Trump is making, everything that he's doing today, are people up in arms about. There's only one reason. They think he's all over the place. He's not all over the place. He is focused on one reason. And the only thing Donald Trump mandates is white nationalism. People said that his father was the head of the KKK at one point. That's what people had said. But I'm telling you, he wants to further the white race.
Isn't it quite? Let me make a point. Isn't it quite interesting? I heard J.D. Vance and some other people saying that it's quite interesting that the judges. Oh, sorry, something about if Save America. What was the point he said about Save America, Dante? He was saying something in refutation of the judges and what they're doing. He said that if you're not trying to hurt, if you're trying to save Jamaica, if you're trying to save America, why are you trying to hurt America? I mean, something of the sort. I mean, a very loose argument. But I'm saying there are many ways you can go about hurting Jamaica. Saving the U.S.
You need to go back to Jamaica.
There's a good way. Yeah, probably I'm talking about Jamaica instead because I need to go to Jamaica.
He said, he who saved his country, or he who saves America, does not violate the law.
Right.
What he's trying to say is, if I kill a black person or a people of color in saving the white race, it's legal. I should be given the authority to do that. He's not talking to you or me.
Say that again. He said, "He who does what?
He who saves his country does not violate the law."
That's an alleged certainty. That's what you call and for folks. That's what you call a question begging epitaph.
That's what you call someone who thinks that he's God or think that he's a mandate on this country, on this world, on this earth. Why I think the white he's a Christian, they said, why I think white nationalism and white Christians like him now? Because white Christians are the ones who also justified slavery. You see the you have the Black Baptist Church, and you have the second. You had two First Baptists, and they had Second Baptist. The First Baptist was who were white people, and the Second Baptist were black people, and black people were just thrown in the side. And the White Baptist Church perpetuated the slavery. They were killing and lynching. They were part of the lynching process.
Well, I must say this. This country is set up the way it is to prevent things from moving fast. Donald Trump wants to move fast, but this country was never set up for things to move fast. It was set up. Okay, it's a democracy. That's why we have the branches of government. The Congress is not supposed to sit down and allow the president to turn this country in a dictatorship. The Supreme Court is not supposed to sit down and allow the president or the Congress to violate people's rights in the Constitution. It's supposed to be a democracy for the people. Okay, a president is not supposed to be seen as a king or a queen. He's supposed to serve the people. And the country was set up. Okay, but when I hear people like J.D. Vance and so on talking about how these judges are doing, what these judges are doing, I'm like, I'm sorry. That's what this country is set up for, to prevent, checks and balances. And we have to check you. And we have to things have to be balanced out.
Yeah, but in the name of the white race, everything goes. Because we're under attack. And it started from Roe versus Wade. It started from that selfish woman it started from Barack Obama. They were upset that they said never again will we ever have another black president. Never. You think Kamala Harris is going to win, this dumbass Democrats? I'm sorry. If you want to win in this country again, you better get a white guy who supports black people and people of color to be in charge. Because if we ever nominate another black person in the next couple of years, we're going to lose. Yeah. Not going to win.
Yep. Anyway, talking to Ricardo, this is the Pulse on the Neoliberal Round Podcast with Ricardo McKenzie. Thank you, Ricky. Great talking with you.
Well, we have to revisit this again because we have to start talking. We have to get the message going. There's deep underlining messages that need to go up because people keep asking, why is he doing this? Why is he making the decision? What's this happening? And I'm like, there's always an underbelly.
Well,
there's always one reason why things are happening. This is strategic what he's doing.
Of course, it's strategic.
Yeah. Strategy, and I realize, you know what? They have a strategy. I see what's happening. They actually have a strategy.
Yeah, they do.
The strategy is they feel as though they have a mandate to do this because they're trying to ensure that the white race is the furthering of the white race across.
I saw this black guy on TikTok defending Donald Trump. So now they have gotten the lumpen proletariats. I wonder if people know who lumpen proletariat is. Actually, that's why I need to publish my second book. I thought all this what's going on is, they're using the lumpen proletariats now. Yes, and Donald Trump did. And by the way, I talk about how Hitleric all of this seems. Right, this is the neoliberal.
What did I tell you last year before the election? I said we can't go back to slavery. What perpetuated slavery was black people. We fought against each other. And I said black people should never be voting and colored people should never be voting for Donald Trump. Because when you do that, the idea of Donald Trump is to perpetuate us. He doesn't care about us. Stop it.
Well, they want to say, well, you know what? You're talking like this because you represent DEI and affirmative action.
Well, to be honest with you, the reason why I prefer listen, affirmative action was only implemented so that it's a part of reparation for me. It's reparation for all the bad stuff that they've done to black people, so I couldn't care less. Put it out there. So what if people say that I get my job because of reparation or because of DEI? I don't care. Give it to me. You've damaged my race. You've damaged my culture. I couldn't care.
No, what you should say. No, but and not only. But you probably your response could probably also be that it could be that you got the job based on DEI. However,
don't care.
You are the number one in a company where you're the only black person. Okay.
Well, yeah,
Are you among the top?
because
You
we
have
work
done
hard.
you.
We
There are
so
black people who
much
have excelled and done exceptionally well. So let us find. So
all
find.
the time.
So I'm not. So
All
yeah.
the time. In music, they steal our music. They steal our. We are just as intelligent as everyone in the world. But look at I mean, come on, Africa is just the mecca, and they have to go and steal it. Listen, we are just. We have to remind and tell ourselves. I used to tell myself, I'm not this smart. We're always smart. We are very intelligent people, but they have kept us down, and our smart is different. We have different type of intelligence, and we are just as smart, maybe just as intelligent as anyone in the world. All right, and they have blocked us, and they've tried to take away our intelligence, our smart, and made us believe that we can't and we don't know anything, but we do. From sports to look, they had to go to Africa and use us to work into the sun because we're not only intelligent, but we're also strong.
Of course, did you
Okay.
listen to what CLR James says? The guy who wrote the Black Jacobins, he said that the people who came to the West Indies, the black people who came from Africa to the West Indies, he said they were the strongest, the toughest, they were tough, they were strong because
Yeah.
they learned the art of sugar production very quickly. If it weren't for their physique, they would not have been able to brave the transatlantic. So they were very powerful and strong and very intelligent and smart. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is interesting, but we gotta go. Thank you, Ricardo. Let's keep the
Fantastic
conversation.
conversation. I really enjoy it, but we have to keep the pressure, keep the message, get the message out there. We have to also push back and fight back. We have to protect. I mean, yes, it's white nationalism, but we do have. All we're gonna win this is unless we have those white people who support us and want to do what is right and what is just and what is fair, and they're not scared about changes. The world is going to change no matter how Donald Trump and everybody is trying to change.
Well, I
stop it
mean,
from
if we can't even elect a female president, and if we can elect a half black president, and then have people say, "Oh, we gave you a black president. What more do you want?" If people can speak, like if that is the conversation around diversity, equity, and inclusion, then we have not grown up.
We are paying a price today.
Okay.
By getting a black president. That's what happened.
We haven't had much progress.
This country started changing the day they nominated a black president. They were furious. Donald Trump was upset. The white nationalists was Renaldo. What I mean, the world was so upset that the greatest country on earth was a country, a white country, nominated a black man. That's when everything changed. They were angry. They're still angry, and it will never happen again. That's their goal. That's what they said. It will never happen again. And black people need to wake up because we can't sell each other out. All right, and not just black people in this country. Well, black immigrants in Haiti. I see African Americans hating on Haitian.
That is true. We talk about that too. We talk about
we go
that.
back
Yeah.
together. We talk bad about them, and they are fellow black people that came from Africa many years ago. Support your fellow brothers and sisters, whether you're African American, you are black.
What about the people? Those from Cuba who now live in Florida and who now all of a sudden they're getting all the benefits of being an American, and all of a sudden turn around and throwing stones on their fellow Cubans.
That is that you can't forget that you are going to perish. You cannot do that. You have to remember. You have to remember that not because you have your fellow brothers and sisters in other countries are going to need you. We cannot forget that. And that's why Donald Trump won, because we have African Americans who decided to stay home because they were jealous of the Haitians and other people who are getting some type of benefits because they're suffering in their country. And note that we need them, because when we help each other, that's when we're strongest.
Talking with Ricardo. Powerful. Please email us at info@neoliberal.com and visit us.
Well, let's leave by remembering, everyone, that for those people who read the Bible, or even if you don't read the Bible, you can use the Bible as some people as a mikra. God said, 1 John 4 verse 16, that God is love, and he who dwells in God or who dwells in love abide in God, and God will abide in him. So we have to remember that every decision we make should be that of love. Loving any language. God said that when he died and came back from the cross, the only mandate we were given on earth was to love our neighbors as we love ourselves. And we need, because when you love, that's when we come together. He loved the Jezebel at the well, when Jesus was here. So we need to remember to love. And I noticed that sometimes we talk about love, but it's not pure love. The only way we're going to make a change in our lives and our society is unless we have real love. And it's not just love like
Ricardo, let me say something. First of all, let's look at the Roman Catholic Church. And the indulgences that had defined the church in the Dark Ages. They were preaching love, but they were still having the crusades. They were preaching love, but they also supported slavery. They were preaching, and first of all, many of these very smart people we're talking about today, they know that religion is an invention of the mind. I will not say anything else.
Greed, Renaldo. Greed.
Okay.
The Catholic Church was breaded and breeded, even though it came out of love, they lost their way. Just like God said, we're going to lose your way. And it became greedy. And that's what they were doing. And the evangelical church, the same thing. All these pastors and stuff have blemishes. It's greed. It's not love.
Ricardo, they said, give us Barabbas, but away with Jesus.
There you go.
We have Barabbas.
Yes.
So what are you gonna expect? That's why I don't beat up my gum too much. I just talk about it.
Yeah.
And make sure
the failings of the church and what they could have done and did not do. And all they do is
the church is in bed with some of these things. Okay? The church is in bed with some of these things. Okay? The church is in bed.
And this is great. I don't want to. We may have to make this a 2-part series because I'm sure.
This is a very. I mean, Donald Trump is president again, and the news is back in the spotlight again. People watch nothing else, but I find myself watching. So it's just easy.
No, I'm not on the news. I don't watch the news as much as I used to. I'm not Twitter. I got rid of my Twitter account. I'm now on Blue Sky. We talk about Blue Sky, you and I. It's a different. It's something, and I told myself I canceled my Airbnb account because the owner of Airbnb is on the cabinet of X, and he doesn't. So anything that goes against my belief system and perpetuate our system, I'm gonna start using my pocketbook or my wallet differently. All right. So I'm getting rid of X. Anything to do with X. I was gonna buy a Tesla. I decided not to get a Tesla because I'm not gonna support Elon Musk. I'm not going to support Airbnb anymore because anyone that doesn't, if you're gonna get rid of DEI and you don't want to hire black people or you don't want to put us, then you know what? I'm not gonna support you. And we have to start letting them feel. I'm sorry. We have to do the research.
Do you know do you know the problem with South Africa today?
What?
DEI.
Yeah, so no more Airbnb.
That's what they are saying. They are saying America is gonna become like South Africa. Okay. That's what they are saying.
Like what? What's wrong with South Africa?
South Africa used to be one of a dominant country. Now they are heavily now they are a dependent capitalist country that's heavily dependent on aid, because you know who is the leaders of those countries? Since black leaders started to take over the country.
Ronaldo, in my rebuttal of that is that you went in the country and you took over these people's country. You stole their factors of production. You owned most of the resources, and then you put them back in charge and gave them nothing to go on. And then because they're not surviving, because you took away their survival many years ago, and then you're complaining just like Ghana, just like Jamaica. You took away all of the factors of production and they are trying to survive, and you make it hard for them to survive and then start blaming black people, saying it's their fault, when it's your fault. You industrialized nation, you capitalist country like Europe, who destroyed most of Africa, took all of their resources, all of their diamond. You give them guns, all of these tribes, to kill their own brothers and sisters to this day, and then you start talking about them when it's because
I think that's what's going on with probably that's what Elon Musk is telling Donald Trump and many of these American elites, telling them, look what happened in South Africa, how they created. First of all, the same thing that happened in South Africa could have happened here, but although the only difference is that the majority is the black race. But yes, it probably 0.6 or 1.6% of South Africa is white, However, they were part of the elite. They were the dominant race in the sense they were elite in terms of status quo. In the US, the dominant race in terms of the elite, in terms of the elitist race, and also in terms of demographically or racially, is the white race. So here is Elon Musk leaves South Africa and comes back. He comes here, says, okay, and telling, South Africa is going to become like, the US is going to become like South Africa in terms of, and look what's going on in South Africa now. But one of the reasons why South Africa has become the way it was, once these black leaders took over, many of the white and post-industrial countries stopped treating South Africa the ways that they treated them. They started treating them as a third world developing country. Okay? You have to put many of this into perspective.
Also, the assets were still controlled, even though it's 0.6% of the population, whatever it is, I don't even know what it is. Guess what? They own most of the factors of production.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't understand it. You're trying to say, so you are the smallest people in the country, but you control all of the resources, you're talking about land, and then you took away land from all of these people and didn't give back to them all of their half of the car, and then you give them back the worst land. I mean, give me a break. Give me a break. They need to shut it. Give me a break. The lies. You went and destroyed all of these countries. Look at Dominican Republic. Look at them. All right, look at that country. Look at that place. The Europeans went and destroyed that place, an entire Hispaniola. All right, and sucked them dry, and then France had to be paying money back. They just
not France, no Haiti.
Well, I call it Hispaniola.
No, you made a little mistake. You meant Haiti had to pay back.
Part of Hispaniola.
Yeah,
which is
had to pay back France. Haiti had to pay back France. Yes.
And you notice something? Of course, Dominican Republic didn't have to pay anything back. Why only Haiti had to pay that?
I know. Of course, we asked that question in the Caribbean thought class. We know why, because of the Haitian Revolution. Dominican Republic never had a revolution. Okay, but at one time, Haiti had invaded them, and the Catholic Church and Spain created a lie that said Haiti had colonized DR, just so you know, which was not a lie. It's still part of the history today, and that's part of the reason why there's a chasm between the two countries up to today. Okay, they don't like each other because of some lies. Okay, but we gotta go.
It was great.
It was great. Take care, Ricardo.
Renaldo, where is this going to be on?
This is going to be on the podcast. This audio show. I don't know if I got a video recording, but I think it's going to. But I think I have an audio recording because this is Google Meet, and I don't know if Google Meets. I was trying to set up the recording, but I didn't set it up for recording.
First, you'd have to actually set it up as a recording. If you didn't record it ahead of time, then it's not going.
But I'm recording it I recorded as an audio, so I have the entire audio.
Well, this is great discussion.
This is good.
To keep it going. I really want my voice to be heard. I want to be able to do something. I was like, I can't sit down. I need to. If each one can reach one, then together we can tell.
The conversation doesn't stop. This is a free country. If people, the thing is, people should be able to speak against and challenge Donald Trump.
That's great. I love it. Donald Musk.
I made a mistake, but it was a good one. Okay, Donald.
I love it.
People should be able to challenge Donald Musk. Okay. So and not everybody's gonna like what Donald Trump and Elon Musk are doing. Okay, people, this is a free country, and we have that right. So, thank you so much, Ricardo. We keep the conversation going. Take care.
How he do that?